this week in the NFL news realm, there hasn't really been much going on. I think that the goal of most NFL teams at this point, we're only about a week out from the draft, and I think the main goal here is to just throw as many smoke bombs as possible. Just be like, oh, look over here, we're going to do that. Psych, we're actually going to do this thing over here. Just trying to outsmart all of the other NFL teams other than the Dolphins because El Bozo.
Right.
So I think that that's kind of the main goal of most of this NFL news. So I don't really know what's real and what's not. What I do know is real is that Jalen Hurtz got an absolute bag. Like, he went down to the Philadelphia bank and said, I would like the bank. And they said, sure. And they just gave it to him. And that's kind of what went down over there in Philadelphia. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the more comical news from our friends up north. And we're going to talk about some of the speculation surrounding the draft. There's been a lot of revelations as of late, which could be smoke bombs or could be, legit. We'll all kind of see, and we'll laugh when everyone drafts a bust. Welcome to K&A Football. Before we get into some of this NFL news, I mean, it's not really that important. If we're being completely honest,
it's the off season.
It's the off season. No one cares about the news, guys. I mean, Debbie's over here shooting us death glares right now. Like, what are you talking about? You have to say that it's the most important thing ever. We have to sell this to the viewers. But something that we have found to be a little more important in our lives.
100%.
So you guys may know, for those longtime listeners, that in November, December, I'm a huge soccer fan, and so I was all about the World Cup when that was going on, and I was receiving backlash upon backlash for trying to talk about it on here. I mean, Debbie had a shock collar around my ankle at one point, so every time I talked about it, just shocked me, so I would stop. And then it finally ended, and I didn't get my episode to talk about it, and then
he's not upset about that at all.
March rolled around.
He's not still salty.
No, I'm not. March rolled around, and Kadin whined and cried and pleaded with us, please, I'll give up my salary if we can only talk about
I must have. You guys must have given it up. Yeah.
Because we don't pay you anymore. Right. And so we did a March Madness episode. Our bracket did oh so well. We actually won the bracket challenge. So now we have that $1 million for the podcast. Right. It was all really great. And you don't play any sports competitively. You kind of play all of them with everyone and attempt to win, though you lose to me quite often. And I play...
Right.
I played...
No, that's not true.
That's how that works.
Whatever, go.
And I played, kind of competitive soccer for the last 10 years. So we don't really have a lot of common ground on the sports front in terms of playing. But, other than us being the most dynamic spike ball duo of all time.
Oh. Dude, we challenge us, please. You will not beat us. If you think you can
beat us, you're hilarious.
Yeah.
Indiana state champions right here. But the sport that we have found bonding over, okay, we both have fallen in love with this sport. I would border on the word obsessed.
Oh, I would definitely say obsessed. I wouldn't border it. I think this is the equivalent of a drug addict being addicted to a drug. I think that this is pretty similar.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
I mean, all day I'm thinking about this sport. You said that while you're sitting in school, all you can think about is this sport.
I mean, I'm not normally focused that much in school anyway, but this isn't making it any easier. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure that all of you are very curious as to what this sport could possibly be. That sport is disc golf. Okay?
Now, before you start laughing and sending us texts about how stupid and lame and whatever you want to say that sounds, you got to give it a try yourself.
You do.
It is so much fun. We're literally, after recording this, we're going to play. We played. I went and played for the first time a week ago. So last Friday. Then me and you and a group of others played Saturday. Then we didn't play all week. Kind of was a sad week.
I was kind of getting the jitters. I was waiting for the time.
Right. And then last night, you texted me.
Itching for it.
You're twitching. And then last night you texted me. Me and you went again, and then we're going again in an hour. So
Yeah.
it is so much fun. Yeah.
You know, it's a full range of emotions. I don't know if you guys remember, but during the season, Kadin fluctuated every single week, maybe like 4 times during the episodes as we would record for you guys. Is that, you know, when the Panthers were doing good, he was on top of the world, and it was all about how the Panthers to the Super Bowl, baby, we're going back. And then the minute that Sam Darnold couldn't complete a pass, it was, we are the worst. We should tank for Bryce right now. I don't want anything else in the world other than for us to be bad because we suck. So imagine that, but only we're on a disc golf course, and like Kadin hits a 30-yard putt, okay, for par after his crappy drive,
And then lose my mind.
And he's on top of the world, and he's like, you know, celebrating. And then on his very next throw, it just like sucks. It's the worst throw you've seen in your life, and he's over there like breaking things. He's tearing down trees from the course. He's like,
There's a very accurate, 100% accurate representation of what happened yesterday.
it is.
Hit that one putt from like respectably far out. I was amazed that it went in. Like
I was too.
I didn't react like how I kind of wish I would have, because I was kind of just like,
Shocked
did
you actually got
that go
yeah.
in? And then I proceed to, on the next throw, trying to throw it, you know, straight. And most of my throws curve to the right. And so I tried to like plan for that and throw it more left. I proceed to throw it to left to the point where like
It doesn't even curve back. It just like,
it was one of the worst throws, and it messed me up. But yeah, it completely, your emotions range the whole day.
yeah. I see why people like get addicted to golf.
Yeah,
Like you just chase that feeling. That's what you're chasing the entire time.
Mhm. I haven't really been able to focus all day because
Yeah.
we're going for that personal best for each of us
Yes,
tonight.
I know. I mean, my personal best is plus 13. Yours is plus 14. So we're right there in that range.
Mhm.
Really chasing that under 10.
We're getting it today.
We're hitting it today. I promise.
If you want to go disc golfing, definitely hit us up, because we will definitely come with you, because we want to go as much as we can.
As much as possible, because I'm a little hooked. And you know, we could get into this NFL news, but I feel like there's one more thing that needs addressed before we really jump into that. And that thing would be something else that has stemmed from the disc golf line of lore in Kadin's life here.
Yeah, I know where you were going
Yeah.
with this.
It's been, you were finally exposed to one of the joys of life. Would you like to tell the viewers what you were exposed to?
we on the podcast, since the season's been over, we've done a decent amount of food takes. We did a whole thing where Debbie was talking about his Chipotle order. We talked about our Chipotle orders. We talked about ponchos. I think that was all.
Yeah.
But we've done a decent amount talking about food. And my whole life, there's a type of food, and I feel like everyone is either all in on this food or all out. There's no in the middle, you know?
Mhm.
And I've never had it. But like, it's just looking at it, and you're like, yeah, there's no way I'm eating that. Like, that's disgusting. And the same person who got me, was like, hey, let's go play disc golf, and got me hooked on disc golf, has now got me hooked on sushi.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm really,
I could have broken the news to you before. Sushi is the greatest thing.
yeah, sushi is fantastic.
He's Jeremiah, you're a very influential person. You've hooked me, very addicted to disc golf, and now I'm probably going to go broke because of sushi. My dad tonight's like, hey, where are you going to get dinner? Are you going somewhere with your friends? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I kind of want to get sushi, but I don't know if I have the money to do that right now. But yeah,
Don't worry about the money. Just eat the sushi. It's worth it.
it's worth it until I try to go get gas next week, and I'm like, oh no,
I have no money.
But yeah. Food takes with Kadin and Austin, part 3. Part 4 is probably going to be coming next Saturday.
Yeah.
Because a week from tomorrow, the Waffle House episode that everyone has been waiting for so long.
Yes.
April 29th. Mark your calendars.
It won't be coming out that day, but that's when we're recording it. So
I mean, I'm sure we'll be live for some parts of it. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So should we get into this NFL news now? Into this actual stuff that Debbie wants us to talk about?
Yeah, probably a little bit.
I forgot to do something. And
Yes, you did.
There's no really good way to go back.
There's no way to salvage it.
Dude, that makes me so upset because I had a really good segue into this.
This is how you know that these episodes aren't scripted, because we can't get anything done right.
Okay, I'm just going to read the ad. Sponsor of this video is K&F Construction. K&F Construction has been serving the Northeast Ohio community for over 16 years Specializing in composite decks, K&F Construction takes the time and effort to provide the service and product that you deserve for your home. You can call K&F Construction today at 330-575-2465 for a free estimate. Again, that's 330-575-2465. You can also visit kfdex.com, which is linked in the description. K&F Construction, let us build your dream backyard. Man, that makes me so mad.
But it won't make you mad when you get a great deck.
It
from
won't.
K&F
I will be
Construction.
happy when I get that free deck. Not free deck, good deck.
Good deck. Fantastic. So, like I said at the opening of the show, the biggest news, really the only news of the last couple weeks, was that Jalen Hurtz, quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl runner-up, went ahead and stole the bank of Philadelphia. He got paid by the Eagles, rightfully so. He's a good player. He deserved to get paid. The question really comes in on whether or not it was on the Eagles' best interest to pay him the amount of money. So he got paid $255 million.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot of money. Okay, that's more money than Mahomes makes.
Well,
Okay. It's
Right.
in the same ballpark.
Right, okay.
He's like 51, 52 a year. Mahomes is sitting at 50. It's all in the same ballpark. But the difference between Jalen Hurtz and Mahomes is for 10 years,
Right.
$500 million.
that's what I meant.
His is 255 for 5 years. And then, as you know, my boy Deshaun Watson made popular, guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm.
So he's guaranteed $179.3 million. Just like that, he will get that money no matter what happens. And then the rest of it, up to 255, is in bonuses, incentives, all sorts of other things. So what's your take on the Jalen Hurts contract?
Right. I mean, obviously, it is so much money. He's the highest paid player, any one position. I mean, quarterback's always going to be the highest paid position, but he's now the highest paid player in NFL history.
Per year.
Right.
Per year, yeah.
Right. But, I mean, obviously, he deserves it. I think Mahomes deserves more, but, like, Mahomes got his contract years ago. Every year, players are going to be making more and more expensive deals. That's just how money works, you know?
Right.
Like, it's going to
The cap space is going to increase.
right. Every
Quarterbacks
year,
are
the
going to want
cap
more.
space
Yeah.
will increase. Every year, like next season, Joe Burrow will get an extension. He'll be the new highest paid, and then like
Right.
Herbert, and then in a couple of years, Trevor Lawrence. Like it's going to be the same thing. Every player is going to break it. Jalen Hurts, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He was, he was average for 2 years or so, and then this year he really exploded. It's a lot of money for kind of one good season. I don't think it's a fluke season by any means, but like that is a lot of money. And obviously you can't avoid, if you want to have a good quarterback, you're going to have to pay so much money. Like that's just how it works. And so every team's willing to
Right.
do that. But it does, like, you're like, man, like, yeah, we have now we have our quarterback locked up, and you have AJ Brown locked up last season. But now you don't have that much money left over to go get these other pieces. You need more than Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown to win a Super Bowl. A bunch of your corners left, a bunch of your defense left, and you weren't able to really replace them. So they really got to like hit on their draft picks and their young cheap players, because they can't really bring in these big free agents on these big deals because they don't have the money to do that.
Right. And fortunately, they structured his contract in such a way that they only take a $4 million hit this year.
Which doesn't make sense. I don't know how that works.
So you're telling me that you're going to then offload the rest of the $172 million?
The rest of the $251 million. Yeah.
Right, you're offloading that to the next 4 years. So, realistically, they could sign guys this year and then also try to have a productive draft, and that would get them through those 5 years where they could, go ahead and make more Super Bowl runs. But with Hurts taking that kind of money, I had said it when they made the Super Bowl and lost, that like it would be in Hurts' best interest to take a lighter contract, a more team-friendly contract, so that way they could continue building around him. Obviously, no NFL player is going to do that because, you work your whole life to get to this point where you can make that kind of money. And so obviously you're going to take the deal when it's presented to you.
Right.
I assume that his agent didn't have to do too much haggling for it. I mean, and also props to his agent, because that's a fantastic deal for 1 year of production.
Yeah.
So, congratulations all around to Jalen Hurts and his team for getting that money. Eagles organization, I guess, congrats. I mean, you got your quarterback, you found him, you got him
Eagles
locked up
fans
now.
seemed pretty happy about it.
I mean, yeah, I don't think any Eagles fan would be upset that he had Debbie's
cheering behind
in the
him.
background.
Because Debbie is now an Eagles fan for no reason. Not like they just went to the Super Bowl
No,
or anything.
it's
Debbie's
generic.
not a bandwagon.
It's generic.
The year that the Legion of Boom was a thing and the Seahawks were insane for like 3 straight years, Debbie wasn't a Seahawks fan.
Don't worry about that. I
No.
don't have pictures of
And
him.
in
with
3
us
years,
stuff.
when the Eagles have no money and they're terrible, he's still going to be an Eagles fan. Don't worry. He's not going to jump to
I
the
will be.
Panthers
I will be.
bandwagon with Bryce Young.
On the podcast right now, I'm calling it. I'm going to be an Eagles fan
for life.
forever.
For life.
For life.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? We will not be
Come back in
disappointed.
10 years. Or we're still doing the pod. Trust.
Oh, trust.
And you'll
ESPN?
see.
We'll be on ESPN.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on ESPN.
We'll always.
giving my Eagles takes.
Oh my gosh. We'll welcome you back to the Browns camp whenever you're ready to actually
I've
join.
never been in the Browns camp,
Well,
so you can't welcome me back.
We'll,
Okay,
we'll
kind
welcome
of-
you into it.
Kind of unrelated, kind of not. Look, most people, like, when they're kids or so, like, you know, they'll root for other teams.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they get to just a certain age, they'll jump
Kadin.
back to the right.
Kadin.
They'll jump back to
Kadin.
their
They'll always
home.
come back to
They'll
their
come back
roots.
to their hometown team.
Yeah.
Like my dad rooted for the Browns when he was a kid, but he really liked the Lions too. Like he
Yikes.
loved Barry Sanders.
Yeah, well, who doesn't like Barry Sanders?
So like, but then he jumped back to the Panthers, and then like I know
Browns.
some.
Browns. Back to
I
Browns.
wish Panthers, man. But yeah, the Browns. And then like I know some other people from church who would like the 49ers, and then I don't know why, but then they jumped to the Browns. Like, and so people forever is like, I'm just waiting for the time. Kadin, you're gonna jump to the Browns. Do you think I ever will? I mean, I know I won't. But like,
I think
what's your like? Come on.
I think that you've entered the same predicament that I've entered with a couple of things in my life. So, like for example, I have talked so much crap about coffee and caffeine
right.
that even if I wanted to drink coffee at this point, I've built this entire persona. So even if I wanted to, I can't do it just based on principle and how much crap I've talked in the past. So I think it's the same thing with you. Where even if you wanted to become a Browns fan, you actually can't because of everything you've said. And now everything's online and lives there forever.
Right.
And so you're going to have to stick with that.
That's exactly my take. And also, I've just devoted too much when I was younger. Tears and
Younger as in yesterday.
no. And then holes in walls.
Yeah.
And yeah, like too much emotion into this team to just move on to the Browns. Like it's a done deal. And I think my dad has finally moved to that too, where I'm not going to become a Browns fan. My dad did say the other day, he's like, we were eating lunch and he's like, hey, and he's like, tell me this. Which I don't know why he brought this up. I kind of was like, what the heck? But he's like, in the day eventually when I die, and the Browns go and win a Super Bowl eventually, because I don't think the Browns are going to win one in my lifetime. That's what he said. And when I die eventually and the Browns then win a Super Bowl, please cheer and be happy for me. Like, don't like root against him. Like, be like, you can be happy like for your dad, for your like. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, why are we talking about this at lunch right now? But so like in a
Casual
situation,
lunch conversation
Right,
at Caden's house.
yeah, that's coming over to the Summers for lunch. But yeah, like, in a situation like that, yeah, I mean, I'll root for the Browns when I'm older. Maybe like I'm not
I'm
going to
glad to hear
resent
that.
the Browns.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Back to the news.
Back to the news. So it came out after Jalen Hurtz got his contract that you know him, you love him. Our boy, Lamar Jackson, Mr. Holdout. We had both said that we were really in his camp for a long time there.
Yeah, I was pulling for him to get a deal.
Pulling for him, I wanted him to get a deal. I think he's a good quarterback. Injury prone, yeah. Does he deserve all of the guaranteed money? Probably not. But he deserves a good deal because he did win MVP. He is a good quarterback. Can he throw as well? No, but he hasn't had to. So we were pulling for him. But it turns out that he was offered $200 million guaranteed for like 5 years.
And
Like-
he said no.
And he said, no thanks. I think I deserve more.
Right.
So
This came out like the same day as the Jalen Hurts stuff. And when
Yeah.
I saw that, I'm like,
no longer pulling for you.
no, like I saw that and I'm like, no way. He said no to that. Like I saw the Ravens have offered Lamar $200 million guaranteed. And I was like, oh, we're about to see Lamar accepted a deal like in the next hour.
Mhm.
Goes on, nothing. Goes on. And I'm like, he said no. And I'm like, I am no longer pulling for you. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson. I know you're really sad that I'm not pulling for you. I'm sorry. I am not pulling for Lamar Jackson to get a deal at this point. Like how selfish you got to be.
Yeah.
You've never finished a whole season in your career. You've gotten hurt every single season of your career. Never have won a playoff game. And you're wanting more than $200 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean that's all he can like guaranteed money. The only reason he wants it is because he knows that he's injury prone.
Right.
He cannot play through all of those seasons that the contract would require him to. So guaranteed
no
money
one's giving you
means that he gets it.
$200 million guaranteed. That 5 years?
Yeah, it's
like the same as
ridiculous.
Hurts. It was the same range as Hurts. Like that's more than Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt every single season. Jalen Hurts hasn't won MVP, but he was runner up this year. He went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, what have you done, Lamar? Won MVP.
I'm sorry, I'm rooting for Lamar. Like if he doesn't take that deal, I hope he plays himself out of the league because he is playing so selfishly right now. Like, come on. Like, it just gets to the point where, like, you're still making 100 trillion times more than the average American. If you're making 3 million, you're making, you want more than 200 million guaranteed. Give me a break.
Yeah. And it's easy to, like, it's easy to be happy for Jalen Hurts because he doesn't talk that much. He goes into work, he gets the job done, and he's good at his job. Lamar Jackson, it's
hard to like him now.
It's hard to like him now because you felt bad for him at the beginning, but now you realize that he's just been selfish the whole time. Now, the good news in all of that for Browns fans is that, we have our guy, Deshaun Watson. Hopefully he pans out.
You gotta hope.
Lamar Jackson said no to that deal, which would keep him in Baltimore, which is fantastic. If he could leave Baltimore or just not play in Baltimore or just be out of our division, that would be fantastic because playing him twice a year is a nightmare. Okay. The third best part is that Jalen Hurts getting this money. It's so much money. Oh my gosh, it's so much money. I can think of a guy in our division by the name of Joe Burrow. May have heard of him. Kind of a mid quarterback.
It's pretty good.
But he's a fantastic quarterback and he's going to get paid in the next year. Okay, his rookie contract, donezo. Okay, he's getting paid, and he has to be getting paid at least Hurts money. Okay, so he's probably getting paid more because he's not mobile.
One, and that's how money works. Is next year,
so the cap space will
255
increase.
mil. It's not going to be worth
going up.
255 mil.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get paid $300 million for however long, which is bad news that he's staying in the AFC North. That's bad. But the good news is that they cannot keep all of their pieces. They cannot keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They got to pick one. They're going to pick Chase.
100%.
Higgins is going somewhere else, so we only have to guard one guy, and then we only have to guard Chase, and then the number 4 receiver on the team because they can't afford a 2 or a 3.
I'm not so sure. I think they can afford to keep Chase and Higgins. I think
I
one of them is
so.
when receiver market isn't near as expensive as other positions. Receivers,
it's not, but
you
they're going to
can
have
find
to
good
pay
receivers.
Burrow $300 at least.
Right, but I mean, think about. I just contradicted
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what
They'll
happens.
have him. They'll have their good receiver. They'll have like some mid guys underneath, but there's no way they can keep them both. And the receiver lifespan is so much less than a quarterback that they're going to want to go get paid the minute they can. Mm-hmm. So that's all great news. Up north, our friends
came out today. The Lions. Okay, we've been hawking them up. We talked them up last season. We thought they were going to be good. They did bad at the beginning. Really turned it around at the end. We think that they'll probably be on top of the NFC North, or at least in the top 2 teams, make it competitive. They'll do really well this year. But they went ahead and last season decided to host Las Vegas in their facility. What we mean by that is they had like 6 players suspended today. Five
players. Okay. Yeah. 5 players were suspended. 4 of them are indefinite 3 of them are indefinite suspensions, and 2 of them are for 6 games for gambling on college games in the Lions facility.
Yeah. I mean, the NFL is very clear and strict on gambling. I mean, Calvin Ridley was suspended for an entire year. I mean,
yeah.
Everyone knows you can't gamble. And what doesn't make sense to me is you're making millions of dollars. What's the point of going and betting? Even betting 100,000 is crazy. That's probably what these dudes are betting. What's the benefit of that? You're betting 100,000, but you already have millions. That's not even a dent to you. I don't understand the point at all. And then the risk, the chance of you getting away with it and getting that couple $100,000 is not worth it to potentially the risk of you getting caught and being suspended indefinitely and your career being in jeopardy. Not worth it at all. I mean, the biggest name that got suspended was Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rookie last season. He was hurt most of the year. He played in a game and caught like a 70-yard touchdown, and that was it. And he's like, all right, I'm done for the year, guys. And Lions fans were like, oh my goodness, like he's gonna be amazing. And now he's like not playing half the season. He's one of the ones for 6 games.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And then Commanders dude also was suspended for gambling. Like, what was he in the Lions facility with them? What's going on there? But like, what? But yeah, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
No, I don't understand why you would do it. I mean, I understand it's fun. I get that part.
You don't gamble though.
No, I don't.
You're not 21.
I'm not 21, so I can't gamble. But I understand why people do it, right? It's fun, especially with like some lower end bets. I mean, I'll make bets with my friends because it's fun.
We bet on disc golf.
We bet on disc golf. Exactly. It's fun, you know? It puts some pressure on. It makes it exciting if it's something that's... I've bet on girls' JV basketball games.
That's right. You did.
I lost
and
that.
You lost.
But, you know, I have done it before. It's because it's fun to do. So I understand why they do it. But when the policy is right there and it's so strict...
Yeah, and everyone knows it.
And you know the consequence is suspension for X amount of time. It could be indefinite. It could be a couple of games. There's no point in risking it.
And you just watched what happened with Calvin Ridley. I mean, yeah, come on. It's
very stupid.
Whatever.
So, you know, Lions being the Lions up there.
Lions need to draft a receiver now, for sure.
Right.
You know, the drafts website, we were dogging on that website, being like, it says the Lions need a receiver. What?
They're ahead of their time.
They had a crystal ball. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of the draft, there are some draft rumors. I say rumors. It's not quite fact because, again, I said with the smoke screens, try to throw some people off your trail. But,
I mean, yeah, rumors right now heat up. I mean, there's nothing right now. There's no NFL.
Adam Schefter's working overtime.
Yeah, there's no college basketball. You got the MLB season started. Come on. You got the NBA. You got the NBA playoffs. Come on. Don't even get me started on that. So yeah,
I didn't know it was happening.
Right. There's like nothing right now. Like, come on. So the draft is this week, and it is so exciting. Like, I am so excited. I've been waiting so long since March 10th when we traded for that pick. I've been waiting for April 27th, and it's 6 days away now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a long 6 days, and everyone's gonna be excited because they're grasping for NFL content.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be getting it finally.
Right. So one of those rumors, Mr. Kadin, is that Bryce Young is looking to be a lock for the first overall pick. We don't know why. We don't know.
We know why, because he is the best quarterback.
Right.
In the
but
draft.
what I'm saying is, like, the last time we saw these two play, it was CJ. CJ was number one. And it was like, now was the last time we saw them play. And now we've gone all of these months without anyone playing. And all of a sudden it's like, whoop, and all of a sudden it's Bryce again. We're like, yeah, well, whatever.
I think both of their whole careers, it was Bryce was better because CJ had struggled. Yeah. And then he had that one game
against Georgia.
Yeah. And all of a ssudden they're like, oh, he's amazing. It's one game. I'm not saying he's not good. He's going to be a good quarterback, but it's one game. Bryce Young played against that Georgia defense twice and played really good in both of those games.
Yeah.
I mean, he put up almost better stats than CJ. No one's talking about that. The only thing they're talking about with Bryce is he's short. And if you're going to pass on someone because he's short, come on now.
Something like that. So yesterday, you had posted an interactive Instagram story, as you had put it. And we asked our viewers to go ahead and give us their draft hot takes. So
I got them pulled up here.
We thought it would be fun if we read a couple of those, responded to them.
Yeah, we got
give a couple
2, 3, 4, 5.
All right.
So yeah, next time we post something like that, feel free to respond. We're not gonna think you're dumb. Like, come on.
Except for if you are. Right. Let's toss out their names there too, so they get a nice.
Yeah, you want that shout out? Fill out some of these things when we do them. Yeah. So we got. Which one should we start with?
Doesn't matter. Pick one.
I'm gonna go randomized. Okay. Well, this is a perfect one to start with, I guess. So Harold Mansfield, we had him on the podcast 1 week.
Yeah,
he's been on. Avid Browns fan, avid Justin Herbert hater, avid Aaron Rodgers lover. He says Bryce Young is a bust. Well, I strongly disagree because he has not played an NFL game, so we can't really consider someone a bust if they haven't played. And I feel like that's just the take at me because he likes his boy CJ because he went to Ohio State. If you didn't know, he went to Ohio State. And He wants CJ Stroud to the Panthers.
No. Oh well. Next one. We already knew he was going to say that.
We got Keegan Bear. Thank you to whoever Keegan Bear is. We got these seem like they're just like a lot of comments towards hating on the Panthers. We got Will Levis goes to the Panthers. Okay.
Again, off-brand Zach Wilson. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Yeah, I think. Look, realistically, I think the odds for going one, Bryce has the best chance. Obviously, they're saying it's a lock. I'm fairly confident it's going to be Bryce. But second best odds. What am I looking at? And then second best odds, I honestly think, is Anthony Richardson to go one. I think they would pick him over CJ,
which is ridiculous.
It's
so dumb. But
and then CJ and then Levis.
To.
I seriously, I wouldn't be shocked if Levis slips past the top 10. So
I hope he does. He doesn't deserve to go anywhere near the top 10. What else we got?
Then we got Higgy 12361. Jordan Love traded to Panthers for first overall. Okay, so these are all regarded towards the Panthers. But what about just trades in general?
Trades in general
that could happen draft day.
Well, I know that there's one in there we should read out because it kind of pertains to the biggest rumor.
All right. For Harold Mansfield again. This is not a Panthers hate this time. 49ers trade Trey Lance, who's openly being shopped.
Mm-hmm.
For a first round pick, and then they end up trading that first round pick for Aaron Rodgers, and so Rodgers goes to the Niners and wins the Super Bowl with the Niners. Like we said, big Aaron Rodgers fan. Harold is, but what's not?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I don't know about that specific trade. Everyone knows that Aaron Rodgers is pretty much done in Green Bay, and all they're waiting on is the Jets to give them what they want, which is a first round pick, and the Jets don't want to give it. The 49ers seemed like they were interested in Rodgers. So, there's potential there, I suppose, to pull Rodgers in. I mean, Purdy is hurt, so he's not going to be playing for at least half the season, and then if Aaron Rodgers goes there, he gets to sit behind him for the 3 years that Aaron Rodgers is still in the league. Okay. The Texans do they have been accepting calls pertaining to trading their first round pick, the number 2 overall pick.
Because they want Bryce.
Right, because it's clear that they wanted Bryce, and now that they can't get Bryce, for whatever reason, CJ's not good enough. And so it looks like they're going to trade down, get some pieces, maybe some picks, maybe some players, we'll see, and then go ahead and take whoever they want further down the list based on who they trade with. So that is a real possibility that the Texans trade. I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't just take CJ or Bryce, whoever ends up being left at this point looking like CJ. But, I mean, I think they'll both pan out just fine. We talked yesterday that we both think that, like, CJ's high, his ceiling is like Joe Burrow, and his low is like a high-end Jacoby Brissett, a Kirk Cousins. Like, very serviceable, very usable. You can definitely have him as your quarterback for a couple of years before you find your superstar guy. So I don't know why you wouldn't just take one of them, because you clearly can't go into next year with Davis Mills and
convince me that anything. You're trying to win.
Yeah, no.
If you go into next season with Davis Mills, you're going into next season for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to draft a quarterback. It wouldn't make sense if they don't take CJ at 2, but yeah. I think the draft night, like, that timer that starts at 10 and then it ticks all the way down to 0. That makes teams antsy. Like, they're like, oh, like, we got 10 minutes. And teams make some irrational decisions because they got a timer. AJ Brown getting traded last year, kind of an example of that, Yeah. I think teams could be dealing. We talked about it last week on our mock draft. Go look at it. Some like Aaron Rodgers, definitely a possibility. I think he will get traded to the Jets on draft night. Dalvin Cook is being a name that's brought up. They're saying they could release him, which is crazy. But I think he could get traded to a team like Miami or Buffalo that needs a running back. DeAndre Hopkins, wherever he's not playing in Arizona.
No.
He's gonna get dealt somewhere, maybe during the draft for some picks. I mean, Trey Lance, like we had said here. I mean, there's the draft. There's so many storylines. There's the players getting drafted. There's players getting traded. There's It's the best.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's the sound of pretty heavy rain.
That's the sound of rain. It's okay. We can disc golf
It'll
in the
pass.
rain. We can
It'll
disc golf.
pass.
We still got 35, 45 minutes until we gotta go.
It's
Hopefully
fine.
it'll stop.
It'll pass. All right. So,
That's really depressing.
is there
dampened
anything
my
else?
mood.
Yeah. The rain dampened your mood. So, yeah, I think that's.
The Cardinals
Oh, that's right.
unveiled new jerseys today. And the Cardinals have struggled the last couple years, and they're trying to, bring some winning culture to their team. So they're going to be going after one of the most winningest college football teams, and they took Ohio State football's jerseys and said, yes, they win a lot. Let's just be them. So they got them and copy and pasted their jerseys, and now it is the Arizona Buckeyes or the Ohio State Cardinals, whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you want to call them.
They are
that's them.
exact replicas. I mean,
Between the white uniform, the red
I
uniform,
mean, literally
and the black
go
uniform,
to
it's
the can you zoom in on the black one? Like, I have a Justin Fields Ohio State jersey. It is that exact thing.
Yeah, look up Ohio State blackout jersey, and it's going to be the exact same thing.
I mean, it is like, and it doesn't even say Cardinals or Arizona right here on the black one. It literally is just the NFL logo. Yeah, there we go. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's the same jersey.
That is the Cardinals' new jersey.
Except we've had this one for years, and the Cardinals just now decided on it. So they stole that from us.
Come on, it's the exact thing.
It's literally
It's the same jersey.
They haven't even the shoulder.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
Dude, how?
congrats, Cardinals! You guys now look like a college
Everything
team,
is
but at least you look like the best
the
college
same.
team. So,
At least you look like the best college team.
How is
Exactly.
that legal?
It's a good question.
they're
as to
gonna
how
start
that's
calling them the Arizona Cardinals.
legal. That's a good one. Yeah, it's very stupid. The white one looks like the Hoosiers
It
jersey.
does. It does. It looks like, yeah, man.
going after the
Cardinals
Big Ten.
going off there all the Big Ten teams. But yeah. Is there anything else? Draft is this Thursday.
Looking forward to it.
We'll probably go live again. What? Next Friday? A week from today, and then Waffle House Saturday.
Yeah, so bear with us because this is the last, sadly,
Yeah.
this is the last episode in the studio. Margaret, you want to show off the studio?
We can do that. We know how to
Yep,
show
yeah,
off the
just,
studio.
Just anyways, so yeah, we're gonna be moving. We're still gonna create more content. It'll just be online over, I don't know, Zoom or something. We'll figure it out. So that still needs to be figured out. I still need to work on that. So bear with us, but I think we'll be able to get it in next Friday, hopefully.
It'll be, and we'll be the draft, the whole first round to recap. So
Yeah.
that'll be good stuff.
It will be.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing. I'm ordering my Bryce Young jersey the day they go for sale. I don't care if it's $150.
It's going to be a little bit more than that.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. You're going to have to sacrifice at least 4 weeks of sushi for that.
My dad. I can go get sushi with my dad. He
Ah,
can
perfect.
pay.
He can pay.
Perfect.
I'll go get sushi with your dad, too. That's a good idea. All right, so yeah.
Debbie's giving us the.
Yeah, I think that's what we got here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully in the future we can do more disc golf episodes. Because obviously
The rain stopped.
Exactly. The sun is shining now. I assume. I can't see
But
outside.
the rain has stopped.
Hey, these are all good signs. We hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we too can one day get bags like Jalen Hurtz. We'll catch you guys next time.
When we're working for Ian.
Thanks for watching this episode of K&A Football. You can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and we're also active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you. You're a real one. We'll see you next time.